Senor Brian, what's good, my friend?
Well, a lot of things are good right now. I'm not sure how good that Zeus pick is looking at this point.
Not a fan, huh?
Zeus is a character. I don't like him so much against Ember Spirit. He has a lot of harass, but Ember Spirit does a good job of sustaining, and through Flame Guard, he has a lot of magic damage reduction,
Oh, yeah.
so Zeus is going to have a tough time poking him down. On top of that, Ember Spirit has great all-in against Zeus, so I'm questioning this pick if it is a mid laner. It could, of course, be a support Zeus, which saw some play, I think, 2 major patches ago at the very beginning of that patch. Zeus saw some play as a support back when Bounty Hunter was really popular.
Yeah.
Sort of controlling wards, controlling stealth. So we'll see if that's where the pick ends up. But if it's mid lane, I'm really tempted to call the lane in Ember Spirit's favor right off the bat.
Yeah, that could definitely be a terrible matchup for him. And yeah, I mean, like you said, it's fantastic all the lane harass that Zeus has, but it's really just kind of negligible when you take into account especially when you typically it's not always the case, but Flame Guard's typically the spell you max out first.
Yeah, against a Flame Guard Searing Chains build, which is the common build, if Ember Spirit gets a good Remnant spot in, or if a support comes to gank, Zeus is a very squishy character. He's going to go down incredibly quickly to that high magic damage Ember Spirit can put out early.
Well, we might see a little bit of assist from his buddy Dazzle there that was picked just before him, so yeah, and it's not like
Definitely.
he has a great means of escape, but he's definitely not going to have a Force Staff or a Blink during the laning phase. So, yeah, like you said, just the ability to go balls in, so to speak, to take out the Zeus, it really would be completely worth it and very viable for the Ember Spirit if it is left as a 1v1 matchup. So, we'll see.
Yeah, another thing to consider is that the Ember Spirit could also be safe lane, so we may not see them match up very much at all.
Reserve time.
Oh, interesting to see Ghostz ban the Spectre there. They've run a lot of Spectre, and they've had a lot of success running it, and that's actually one of my favorite characters that they pick, just watching how they handle the Spectre, and how No Chill tends to play that Spectre is really enjoyable. So it's curious to see them ban it, but I understand that they want to take away sort of that global ultimate composition that you can run with Spectre Zeus.
Well, and I mean, technically, in a sense, with the Beastmaster as well, too, if BOTs were to become a thing, so definitely makes sense. A lot of priority on banning mid heroes, though, for sure. The OD and the Prophet and Invoker all taken out in the first phase of bans, so that's something we've seen quite a bit, especially the DP and Invoker bans. Just the changes that they received in the last patch just made them too damn strong if left alone, so.
Oh, Night Stalker. Finest looks like they want to be aggressive in the early game. Night Stalker, not much of a pick that you want to scale and sit back and farm with. He's definitely a go-getter. Very powerful during the night phase.
Yeah, that's why, especially with the changes to night and day, quite a long time ago now. I mean, he really needs the XP because you want at least level 2 to 3 voids. So, you having a little cocktail there, bro? Dang.
Just
early.
some water. Just some water.
Ghostz just picked the best hero in the game, so I think we can give them a decided victory in this one. Just call it GG. So
Abaddon after seeing 2 supports, so that's going to be an offlane Abaddon.
God willing, my friend. God willing. Offlane Abaddon is the best Abaddon. No, it's Abaddon. No, I'm not stooping to your level.
I'm sorry. The name is taken from from the Torah, and it is pronounced Abaddon in Jewish lore, but I don't know how it's pronounced in the Blizzard universe. It may be pronounced Abaddon in the Blizzard universe. I'm not entirely sure how that is.
But in my universe, that's
yeah. Everyone seems to pronounce it Abaddon.
Yeah. You're just you're a metaphor, Jared.
I'm a nerd, so I looked up the pronunciation from like the origins, which is the Torah and the Jewish religion, and there they pronounce it Abaddon. So
we're gonna need a lot of we're gonna need early
getting mixed up.
BKBs for the cores on Finest, because there's a lot of CC early coming from Ghostz. Chains, Ogre, Shaman. I mean, plenty of slows. I mean, it's gonna be a rough time to run around and Especially if that Night Stalker is core, as we assume. It's not
Well,
gonna be easy.
I might lean towards it being support, because I would expect the Zeus to be mid, and then Night Stalker Dazzle, having the Night Stalker sort of roam around and pick up some lane assist, and Dazzle more being a protect support. But with the Gyrocopter, the Dazzle doesn't have to babysit so much, so we might actually see both supports out on the map for Finest.Gaming.
So you're expecting an offlaner as the last pick for Finest here, huh?
I would expect an offlaner as the last pick for Finest.
Fair enough.
Looking at the team they have, I might look for a stun that goes through BKB, or just a big sort of team fight stun in general, because they have a lot of damage right now, and they have good single target disable, but they don't have a lot of AoE disable outside of cooldown. So maybe like an Elder Titan, or I know that the Beastmaster was banned out. That would be the go-to pick for me if it was available.
Very, very good ban looking in retrospect here.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah. That's something too, like
5 seconds.
I mean, I know that they kind of want to make a nice, well-rounded draft, but
Dyer's pick.
yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think the Beastmaster would have been the best, and they would have paired well with the Night Stalker too, just as far as vision and lane, or as far as map control and vision are concerned too. All right, so now you're thinking safe lane Ember, correct? This has to be
We've
a
seen
Storm.
Storm run safe lane
Yeah.
quite often as well. I'm really not sure how they want to lane this, because to me, I think that Ember has a better lane against
10
Zeus,
seconds to go.
but that depends on Ghost's comfort level. If they think that their Storm player is going to have a better time against the Zeus, or at least a free farm time against the Zeus, they may end up running the Storm
Ooh.
mid.
There you go. There's your BKB proof stun and initiation. So wow. And he's a pretty damn good offlaner too in his own right. So come on, Dota, don't crash.
Yeah, he has enough lane control.
Ah, nice. Reborn, I love you.
Everybody get set.
Yeah, I
love
don't know
you.
what's been up with that, but I've been getting a lot of crashes as well as soon as the... Well, yeah, there we go. A lot of crashes as well as soon as... So... Maybe something for
Definitely
Gabe in
mid-Zeus,
this
my friend. He has 2 pooled tangos, couple clarities.
Definitely the mid Zeus.
Magnus gets an early ward to be able to go block a...
Quest-
Get a little vision in the jungle there, or block a camp if he chooses to. Oh yeah. That's the offlane Abaddon build, baby. Right there. He's got the Mango Gaming on, plenty of regen, Fairy Fire, good to go. Young Hooligan actually on the Storm Spirit, he opts to go for the Null Tally. No bottle rush here. A couple shared tangos, Fairy Fire, just in case. Yep. So yeah, No Chill's playing.
I think that
He
lane.
plays hard carry, so yeah, he's gonna be in the safe lane like you thought.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go for Storm, to make sure right, because he can farm so effectively with his Q.
You're cutting out a lot, my friend.
Again, sorry.
You're really, really cutting out bad. Alright, so looks like they're just gonna stick to their respective sides, grab the
And here we
runes.
go.
So that'll help Storm spread out a lot. Both the mids, so yeah, we'll see Zeus up against the Storm.
High hopes for this one.
Quite a different lane matchup, but I think definitely you want the Storm to get the XP early on for sure. Still, this changes everything for the Zeus now. He has a much, much safer lane. And the pause. I think there's some miscommunication here. Legacy keys, of course. So Dad's actually taking a lot of harass here.
Alright, carry on.
And that's actually first blood. He has to level Grave first, but I don't think that's enough to save him. Yep, he actually is gonna make it out he's gonna make it out okay though. Level 1 Grave's gonna be a real pain though, at least as far as the first few minutes are concerned though. Wow. So a lot of early harass and a lot of regen gonna have to be consumed there by the Dazzle. He actually has nothing left because I think he shared tangos already with the Zeus. So oh my gosh, he doesn't have Aphotic Shield level 1. So much harass coming out from both sides here. Check on the mid lane here. Zeus just securing those initial last hits with the Arc Lightning. Pops the Clarity.
Denied.
Actually, it's a dual off lane here with the Night Stalker and the Magnus. So standard pull duties here for Ogre, making sure No Chill can get some under tower last hits, keep the lane equilibrium. Oh, cancel the clarity, but the bottle's already there for the Zeus, so it's not such a big deal. He's gonna be a-okay here, and he's doing just fine. He's trading perfectly with the Storm at this point, so, and with the bottle already online, he's gonna be fine. Mango's on both heroes though, so if they really feel like diving, they can get a nice level into the Ether Shock there. I think they could potentially get a kill in the Gyrocopter, or even the Dazzle if he actually isn't careful with the mana and the management of the Shallow Grave. Nice rune control here from Ghostz. They get both at 2 minutes. And you see some early aggression. The Searing Chains come out and they layer the stuns. A nice skewer right there, making sure No Chill is nowhere to be seen. But he's still got Flame Guard on, and that's first blood right there. The Ogre actually finished it off. Magnus actually taking a ton of damage here, and there's still the haste on the Ogre. He has no mana, but he can run down and pop the salve. So ton of early aggression here in this safe lane. It's No Chill. Get some assist gold, and actually, the death timer being so short, Night Stalker tries to turn it, but he gets a free void in there. No harm done.
That's one thing to watch out for that lane, is Ember Spirit has a lot of early kill participation, so he can definitely be very aggressive as a carry throughout the early game, and even throughout the
more
mid
aggression
game
up top.
with his magic damage.
He's got the early point in the slow, but only level 1 shield, so it doesn't really absorb too much of the damage, so they're not going to be able to secure a kill there. Ether Shock only level 1, so nice early aggression. Sorry to cut you off. What were you saying, my friend? Ember Spirit kill
Nothing.
participation?
Yeah, he has a lot of early magic damage, so he can participate in kills like that first blood very effectively throughout the early game.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my disconnect there was not the Reborn client, but was actually my internet.
It wouldn't be a cast with Brian without internet issues. And
yeah, no kidding.
And lagging dialogue. No worries though. Didn't miss too much. So yeah, like Zeus. Okay, so this is really what the Zeus was like praying for when he was picked. Actually, this is like the best case scenario for him. Not only did he get a more favorable matchup, but he actually has a lane that he can evenly trade in, as he's shown, actually win too. He's actually doing very, very well. Taking a nice early lead over the Storm Spirit, who's not doing terrible by any means, but I mean the Zeus, he's out CSing him. He killed him once in lane, and he's already has level 6, so he's gonna be able to participate across the map here. So
yeah, I was kind of concerned about that pick, and I mentioned it in the pick phase, just because Zeus has such a range advantage over Storm and has very spammable harass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did get pretty unlucky. There was a couple cancel clarities there, but I mean he's obviously recovered, and he had the bottle, and he has arcanes here. So with the bottle Crow, I mean he's going to be able to do so much harass here.
Yeah, Storm's going to want to get out of that lane as soon as he gets level 6.
Uh-oh. And I think they're going to get 2 here. Pops the Fairy Fire, stays alive, and yeah, that's a double kill down south here. No Chill picking up both the kills this time, so 3 kills already in the safe lane for this duo here. Arcane's already completed, so, and level 3 Flame Guard, so I don't know that that's necessarily a safe lane. The next time they go for CS, it's going to be pretty dangerous for them. I still like the dual off lane though. I still thought it was much stronger, but Night Stalker only getting to level 3 though, so he's gonna try to salvage this Knight here. See if he can go get a pick off. But it's not like Abaddon's an easy kill.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be really hard. Abaddon's really difficult to kill. Storm Spirit's getting to 6, so if you don't get that Void off before he zips, it's gonna be very difficult.
I think they're going for it anyway. They're gonna pop the ult. They're hoping to get a Void off, but doesn't matter. They actually make most of it. Oh my gosh!
Goes down in the safe lane.
Too much damage. But okay, pops his wand. Actually has enough.
Ogre's gonna get him.
Yeah, Ogre too strong. That regen and that armor just too much. Yeah, well actually just got the 3rd level in Rocket Barrage too. So I mean, pops the wand. He knows And it's just enough mana to cast one more time, but it's just not enough.
It's been a really aggressive early game. Both of these teams have picked characters that are very potent in the early phases of the game and can pick up kills very effectively. So expect for this aggression to sort of continue throughout the entire game. I don't think it's going to slow down at any point, really.
This Night Stalker is really in a weird place right now. And they definitely saw him. Yeah, he's got to get out of there. Actually pops a smoke here. And
Interesting.
he's going to be too late here. The Zeus is actually ganked mid. He's going to try to come back and get a counter kill, but he's just too slow. Ember's just going to port back and come right back to lane. Yeah, a lot of early aggression.
To see the Ember. Oh, he did use the Remnant. Okay.
Yep. Zeus and Gyro top the CS board. Actually pops the ult again. That might be just for scouting. No, that wasn't. Weren't quite ready to go on anybody at that point. Everyone on the team's fairly low, so. Now Ember's going to take over mid, and he's balls deep right now. It's 2-on-1. This is pretty greedy, especially with the early silence and a lot of spam, and the Flame Guard just dissipates like that. Actually, the Gyro gets a solo kill on the Abaddon. He must... I thought... No, he's not level 6 yet. And they're going to get another kill, too, on the back end. Shadow Shaman goes down as well. They're all full health. They could turn this, too. This is still a very winnable fight, and I think they're going to go for it. They use the Grave, actually, able to salvage a little bit of time here. Oh, one more Lightning Bolt's enough, actually. Takes out the Ogre, but Zeus is still in a lot of trouble here. No mana on the Storm.
Oh.
Yeah. He's just fine.
It ended very hard there.
That was
Ghostz.
4?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was 4.
Yeah, because the Abaddon went down too.
Abaddon and Ember and Ogre and Storm. That's really rough.
Yeah. I think that's just something that, you know, if you get off to a hot start, and No Chill definitely did that. You know, he got to participate in the 4 kills early on, and he figured he'd be good to go. But yeah, typically you don't see that point in silence for the Night Stalker already. And again, I mean, there's the dive. You got the Ogre for support here, but Magnus TPing in. He could skewer, but I don't think he really wants to use RP. And Gyro actually takes the offlane tower, and Abaddon's not able to TP out in time. Too much damage for him. Gives up
He's still
another
not level
kill.
6. That's a rough spot to be in for an offlaner.
Yeah, that's a huge downside to dual lane in the offlane too for them. Unfortunately, I felt like Ghostz were winning that lane, but just not the case.
Yeah, they were doing really well up until they took that fight. They were up 5-2, and then as soon as they started that fight, it was a huge swing. Now you can see 6-8, completely in the other team's favor, both in CS and in terms of kills, and that's reflected in the net worth and the EXP.
Yeah, last couple of minutes have been a huge change as far as momentum goes, and momentum is what the Spirit Brothers are all about. Am I right? You know, when you can't get off to the start that you'd like, and your laning phase doesn't go as well as it could. I mean, and there's no stacks to fall back on for either of them, so. Now it's just about well, now they don't even have to control their own jungle here. Gyro, he actually pops his ult here, and that's a lot of damage coming out. Shadow Shaman has no chance. They're going to expend the RP. They want to make sure this Ember goes down, and he does. He's trying to get a counter kill, but Storm just has no mana to change to his ult. Ogre's going to get a kill here on the Magnus, but he lost the Ember again.
Well, Abaddon still has his ult.
Yes, he does. Finally, he hits level 6, and they can just TP out. Oh, so much damage, but the Grave's there to save him. Storm's got to be careful. I think the Urn's going to take him out. Can't use his wand charges. No TP on deck.
A great job of using the invulnerability from
5
Ball
HP.
Lightning to live.
5 HP, Brian.
He had more Ball Lightning, so he could have dodged more Urn damage. The Ball Lightning does make you invulnerable for the duration.
I think they're gonna get the Zeus here, but the Zeus gonna take some collateral damage now that the Abaddon's out. They got me saying now. His ult was down, and that's a good amount of gold going to the Ember, though. That'll help salvage the last few minutes for him for sure. Huge full duration shackle on the Night Stalker. It's pretty low on mana though. Yeah, they can definitely take him down now. The Gyro ult though, that's gonna kill
down.
Storm. So chaotic. Ember's got, oh, great Remnant. Just barely saved his life with the fly cannon doing so much damage. Yeah, he's maxed it out now. Sorry, Rocket
Radiant's
Barrage.
mid-tower's getting banged up.
And then amongst all that, Magnus getting closer and closer to Blink Dagger, so you can see that RP coming online. And
Radiant's top tower's in bad shape.
yikes.
An amazing sequence of fights. And in the end, the American team ends up extending their lead. Finest in America.
Do we have a fanboy on board? Was I not notified of this earlier?
Well, that's the team name.
That's true. They're the
Isn't
full
it
name America's
Finest?
Finest. That's true. I thought you were just tooting their own horn. Aether Lens actually
they've
the first
extended
item
it.
on the Zeus. Breaks apart the mana boots and goes for the Aether Lens. So a little bit more damage. I mean, as if they need it at this point. They have so much burst.
That's kind of surprising to me. It looks like he's really going to focus on the lightning bolt, so they're thinking about a lot of aggression as opposed to timing fights. So if you go after the Augs first, you're playing around the ultimate, which means you're going to be fighting less frequently. Essentially, every time the ultimate's up, you have an item advantage, and when
We're
it's
gonna
not,
go
you
on the
don't.
Zeus. They need a little more lockdown. There we go. There's the Hex there from the Shadow Shaman. He gets the ult up just
gets the ult
before
off.
though, so they'll definitely get a counter kill. And actually, Gyro's positioning here. He wants to take out one more,
Wow.
and he will. Ends up getting both kills. He's just so strong. He's got the Acolyte
Phenomenal
and the
job.
drums right now. He's so strong.
Radiant's bottom tower seen better days.
They've done a phenomenal job dealing with the Abaddon ult and the Abaddon shield.
Yeah.
Like, just being patient, waiting out the cooldowns.
That's
and
why
saving their
I don't
spells.
mind the Aether Lens. I mean, they're just nuking down this Flame Guard every time in every fight. They get the Void, the stun, a Lightning Bolt, you know, and that's pretty much done right there. And they're just gonna run down this poor Order.
Oh, he might get the kill on Night Stalker though. Oh,
Yeah, the Grave and Heal comes out. Is there a Mistcoil? No Mistcoil build. This is my greedy build. He'll get one more. He'll get the kill on the Night Stalker on the back end, but that's just 3-on-1. This team's got to get into position here.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
All right, so Storm just now has everything for his Soul Ring. So I mean, the guy is just dirt poor, at least compared to what he wants to be.
Radiant's mid tower.
30 CS to 45. He's not having the best game.
Check out the net worth graph or the net worth chart right now, though.
Oh man, that gyro!
That
Holy
is,
crap!
yeah, and he went full early fight too. I mean, he's gonna have an S and Y done on top of that, so he's gonna be incredibly tanky. Very fast too. They're gonna try to pick off the Zeus one more time, but he has the ult up. Oh, fake out. He's gonna let his team get into position and then pop it when it's most desirable here. Oh!
Ooh, cancel the RP too.
Yeah, I think
They're
he
really
had to.
playing
He got out of position. Oh my gosh, Zeus Salt comes out and the Gyrocopter Shadow Shaman has no chance. And there actually finally commits the RP, but his team's kind of spread out here, and the Gyro is so close to going down. The Abaddon is going to run him down, but a huge Grave coming out. And Searing Chains comes off cooldown. Yeah. Dazzle just gets the heck out of there.
What's with all the scribbling?
So
Wow. Well, that was
support
that
for
was
support.
necessary.
Wow. Yeah.
Killing that gyro. They needed that.
They needed to do it a couple more times, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's a good step in the right direction, though. No doubt.
Ember Spirit picked up that kill too, so he's going to be advancing further along the net worth.
Yeah, he goes for the BOTs though, which is fairly standard. All right, Abby's going for a hood. I don't know if that's a pipe to be or just a casual hood, just because there's just so much magical damage coming out from this lineup.
Yeah, hard to know. He also deals magic damage with Mist Coil to himself.
Well,
so that'll decrease the damage there.
just in that last fight, he picked up 2 levels and actually put points into Mistcoil, so I wasn't even thinking about that because he didn't have it for the first like 13 minutes.
It's a minor thing.
Yeah,
it's less
just
important
like
than Centaur with Double Edge.
Yeah, which I love. I actually pick him if I have going against a magical lineup, just because it's like twice as
for
effective.
the pipe.
I mean, you can use it for farming at that point, just because it mitigates the spell damage. So.
Pipe is one of my favorite items on Centaur. That and Blink Dagger are like the 2 core items you want
I
to look
think
for
it's
on
core.
him.
A lot of people disagree with me, but I definitely think it's core. Hood at least.
Yeah, definitely Hood is really essential for him,
Yeah,
and that regen just stacks with his entire kit very effectively.
I agree. Yeah, Gyro already has the Sanch on him too, so he is incredibly tanky. 1400 HP early, but he's getting wrapped around on here. Zeus out will scout out the team, and Gyro's going to try to get out of here. He's going to pop his ult. He's got a TP, but there's just too many stuns here.
Oh, he's gonna get.
The whole team rotates in.
Nothing happened.
That was pretty greedy, though. If you're going to be that far ahead by yourself, I mean, you can reasonably expect that to happen, I feel.
There's the second kill on Gyro, and one more, and he's kind of been brought back down to earth. He's Ember Spirit's already catching up in terms of the net worth. On the backside of that, Shadow Shaman got picked off by Magnus, who revealed the Blink Dagger.
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways these heroes can go as far as items too on both sides, so I'm really interested to see which routes they go. Ogre actually ended up going for a mech. I didn't even notice. Something not too typical on that hero. I typically like most of them play a little bit greedier and like to get a positioning item just because of the stun, but I think a positioning item is a lot more effective on the Shadow Shaman this game. So.
Yeah, speaking of the support items, I'm really surprised the Shadow Shaman has been sort of a poorer support. Usually you see him farming forward to get the blink fast because his blink is so effective.
Yeah, he does very well with farms, so yeah, it's kind of odd that would be the case, but we're casting, they're playing, as we like to say, right?
Definitely. There's a reason that we're not on the field.
Correct. Can't put me in, coach.
Well, actually, we have a really aggressive ward out here. I didn't notice this earlier, but that's a very interesting ward.
Oh, they catch the Zeus. They grab the haste, make sure he's not going to be able to use that. He's got his ultimate, he's going to pop it, but Magnus is trying to make the best of a crappy situation. And actually, they might get the Ember here. Oh, fantastic Remnant. And Storm actually finishes off the Zeus. And they're going to get one more for their troubles here.
Wow.
Can't stop the TP, so they get two in that exchange. 2 cores. I'm sorry, a core and a support.
I'm shocked at how that went.
Yeah, that was.
That RP went down. He had both of the cores, and I was really surprised that none of the supports there for America's Finest came in. And Ghostz. All the supports rotated for Ghostz. They had 5 people there against 3.
Wow, he already has a finished pipe on deck too. That's going to be absolutely colossal here.
Yeah, despite having a really late level 6, he's recovered effectively without a doubt.
Well, yeah, and they were able to preserve the ward, so they're going to be able to use this to siege the tower. No RP online here though. I think they're just kind of posturing. If they have, oh, there you go. The mini stun comes out. And that's a dead Abby. No ultimate.
They got the tower though.
Got the tower, but they lost. I don't know. I mean, even with the pipe, it's just all that damage, man.
What is Ogre doing?
I'm not. He has a mech,
Yeah,
but that's not going to do
moving.
a whole lot. Sorry, bud.
I don't know if that was a disconnect or what, but he like stopped moving right in the middle of the lane.
I thought he was gonna like wait to like farm creeps, and then that just wasn't a thing. A little awkward. So they lose 3, and that is not worth the T1. I understand it's mid and it's a very crucial tower, but actually he's silenced. He's dead. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think he saw the Dazzle put the ward down. I wasn't checking vision, but he had mana. He could have zipped out of there. He was just playing a little bit cheeky there.
Very weird. I mean, We've seen Ghostz struggle a little bit in the laning phase. We've seen them struggle with like different drafts, but this seems like a draft that they're very capable of executing. This is just very odd to see. And don't get me wrong, I've watched Finest.Gaming. They're a fantastic team in their own right, but I mean, Ghostz is just getting straight up outplayed. I mean, it's
pressure in very effective ways, and Finest is doing a great job of playing around the cooldowns on their ultimates. They basically have Thunder God's Wrath and RP as their major cooldowns because Gyrocopter's cooldown has such a short cooldown, and they're just taking fights every time either one of those is up, and they're really looking for
and now
team fights
we
where
have
they can make the
supports
most of those.
roaming around on their lonesome. Abaddon's there actually is able to move around to get into position, but A lot of posturing going on. We got all the ultimates that you just brought up. RP's back. We got Zeus alt ready to go. Zeus actually, he's third in net worth, man. He's doing very well.
Playing against Storm.
I'm really hoping that he doesn't go for a scepter. I'm really hoping he's not going for a scepter.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm pretty sure he is, just because he's already purchased the point booster. If he hadn't, maybe we could see a Force Staff or a Yule's or something. But I'm expecting the scepter. I
think they're very comfortable with him dying though. His positioning is not it's relevant, but the rest of his team's very quick and fairly mobile. So whenever he's in danger, they're able to get into position. He always seems to get his ultimate off. And was that? Yeah, that was an RP used.
RP.
That was a balls in blind RP. I mean, best case scenario gets like 2 to 3, and they can pick off a couple. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, they're not going to be fighting. He has time to back off and farm. They're not really afraid of Ghostz playing up for a lot of towers right now because Ghostz just doesn't have a good tower pushing team. Their best right clicker is Ember Spirit, and he doesn't have any damage yet, and he's not particularly effective at sieging towers or pushing towers. So they can afford to pop one of those ultimates for kind of a gamble, and then they can spend the entire cooldown playing farm, playing recover, because they're not afraid of the hard engage out of Team Ghostz.
It's like a medium risk, high reward kind of play. Worst case scenario, you put one of your best ults on cooldown for a little bit. Best case scenario, you pick off 2 to 3 heroes. So yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, Ember, as well as he did in the first part of this game, I mean, he's still a ways away from a damage item. He's working on the Battle Fury, but he's still quite a bit away. They get a smoke going on here, and they actually they get vision on the Magnus mid. He's really got nothing to offer here. He gets a skewer, but I mean, it's just a matter of time. They can run him down quite easily here. Oh, and they find another one. Dazzle gets hexed up, not able to grave or heal. They're gonna keep going. No chains for a moment here. Storm not quite enough mana to pursue that. He's actually getting pretty close to the Bloodstone, actually. He's still middle of the road as far as net worth goes, but here we go. Yep, I knew it. Yes. All right, he's going Octarine Core. Good. That's what I was hoping for. Or maybe Bloodstone, maybe?
I mean, it could be Bloodstone. I think Core makes more sense with the Aether Lens, but
yeah, that's what I was saying. I hope it's not a scepter.
Yeah, the scepter doesn't really help out if you go after the Aether Lens because you can't really increase global range.
Yeah, but there's still the plus damage though, the percentage on the damage.
Yeah, 8%. You know, it doesn't seem like a lot, but you know, when push comes to shove, that extra 8% can actually really make the difference.
Yeah, and you never know, someone might pick up a Veil later on too, so could make it even better. So, and the way the Octarine Core I think is fantastic, just because the way, like you said, he's spamming out the Lightning Bolt. I mean, it's just destroying Flame Guard. It's it's making, you know, the Photic Shields just explode in seconds instead of him being able to use that as, you know, a nice way to protect some of the initiation or whatever. I don't know. This Zeus is pretty strong. I was also concerned, just as you were early on, but it's panned out a lot better than they could probably even expected.
Oh yeah, they ended up with the lanes they wanted. The Zeus had a very friendly lane. I think we both talked about how the Storm Spirit is not quite as effective against the Zeus as the Ember Spirit might have been. So I think they got a lucky break there in terms of the draft. I know that with amateur teams, sometimes hero pools are a limiting factor. And I believe that when we cast Ember Spirit games previously, No Chill has always played the Ember Spirit. So that could be a hesitance to move back to a different laning setup, because No Chill previously played the mid laner and he's been switched to the hard carry. So that could just be them wanting to run him in the safe lane instead of, you know, reverting to the previous lineup. So there are a lot of reasons that the lanes could have gone the way they did.
So what do you think about the first major item for the Shadow Shaman? You got a nice...
The Glimmer Cape?
Yeah.
It's a pretty standard item to pick up for the 5th position character. Ogre, of course, going after the mech, getting more farm, so he's the 4. So Shadow Shaman picking up the Glimmer Cape makes sense to me. It gives him a way to get in, sort of, and it gives him a lot of safety against the AoE. So
I'm wondering if this
with
is...
that Glimmer
Nope,
Cape,
I thought initially this might be a Roche smoke, but no, they want to kill here. They pop the Nightstacker ult, so they get fantastic vision.
yeah, I don't think they're gonna find anything though.
I don't know. If they wrap around here, they'll have to run down the Abbey, but no. Nope.
No, they're not gonna find anything.
Well, they'll find somebody. They use the RP. Silence goes out, and he's already dead. Zeus ult used, but not necessarily required for that kill. Ember finishes the Battle Fury.
If the Radiant team had been wrapping around one of the sides, getting that Zeus ult out to see where they were in terms of positioning, could have changed whether they want to engage or disengage.
What is this next here on the Abbey? He's got a chainmail sitting in his inventory.
Could be AC. I don't think that really benefits the team that much, so...
I don't think he's going to be able to farm that either.
Yeah, no. I think it's going to be the Medallion into the Solar Crest. That makes more sense to me. Giving a little bit of dodge to either Storm or Ember. But... Oh, no, it's going to be a Blade Mail.
Okay. Not necessarily a new item, and they're smoking right into Roche. No, they're just scouting it out. And they're walking right uphill, but there's no RP online, so this is a fight they can actually take if they really want to. If they got to burst down this Dazzle, and they are able to. Gyro pops his ult. He has BKB fresh off the Courier here. 10-second charge, and he's going to work here. They're going to try to Ward Trap him in vain. Ogre goes down. A nice skewer, and they're able to pick up the Shadow Shaman. Zeus doing work in these fights, but he's going down pretty quickly. Storm's just beating the crap out of him. Got 2 down on both sides, and the Ember's, he's all stunned up. He's got so much, needs to do damage. And he gets finished off by the Night Stalker. One more Void and he's done. Storm, oh my gosh! 18 HP on the Gyro, gets away. And I think these are 2 more dead heroes, my friend.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
Could go either way.
That's a team wipe.
Oh. Very close.
Well, look how low all the Gyro with like 18 HP, Magnus under 100. Wow.
Just over 3. Yeah, that could have gone either way with just slightly different play from either team. That was, yeah, both of these teams very much in the game. I know we've talked about how America's Finest Dota has been in the lead, but very marginal lead, as we saw in that last team fight. Play will very much determine the course of this game.
Yeah, I mean the graph did fluctuate quite a bit in the last couple minutes in that fight. Wow. Yeah, that helped out Finest quite a bit. So Gyro now, he can go a little bit greedier now. He's got a lot of stats. He's got the BKB.
Going for the helm.
Yeah. So eventually turning that into a Satanic. So I mean he's getting pretty big, but just not really going for the deeps though. I mean they have so much magic damage on that team, so they'll be okay for quite a while. But I mean you gotta
kind of worry about that.
Yeah, I feel like you have to go damage at some point, and he's not really like in danger of being killed, especially now being the only person in the game with a BKB. So I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I don't mind the helm, but I think he has to go damage after that.
Yeah.
Zeus.
I mean, you can only run on magic damage for so long before the Storm gets a BKB, before the Ember Spirit starts getting a BKB, and we've already seen the pipe out, so you have to know that the magic damage you carry, since your Gyro is already level 16, is not going to be increasing, so you're definitely on the clock in terms of finding some DPS items. And
speaking of being on the clock, we got a sneaky Roche attempt going on here, and I don't think Ghostz is any the wiser.
Even if they were, I don't know if they can contest it. The Ember Spirit's down, and he's a huge
RP
portion of the damage.
Yeah, no Ember, true. And, okay, so the Zeus finally finishes off the Octarine core, so he's going to be pumping on a lot of damage. 67.5 second cooldown on the ult, Brian. That's just mean.
That's going to line up very well with Call Down. They're going to have a lot of opportunity to use both of those spells in conjunction for a lot of AoE damage.
Yeah. And they can squander it pretty much at will whenever they feel they want to, because
it gives a scouting tool.
For sure, yeah. No, it'll be a lot less hesitation on popping the trigger on that ultimate for sure. We got some buddies saying hi here. This is actually my 2 favorite heroes going head-to-head. No, don't kill him. He's got Grave available. Oh, gets off the last second. Got the rotation, and his team's here now. Keep him going. He's got the offensive weave, actually. He's got it on all 4 heroes. Okay, so there's Storm's gonna TP out. Oh my gosh, a huge skewer to cancel the teleport. He's got a decent amount of mana, but you can run him down. Abaddon's just gonna TP out. Oh my gosh, not enough damage. Or not enough time. The damage is just too much. And they actually end up running down the Storm Spirit and a D-ward. Ouch. Yikes, Brian. That's not good.
It feels like Ghostz is not on the same page this game. We keep seeing parts of the team go in for kills and then the rest of the team not accomplishing anything. So it would be okay if they were pushing towers, or if they were clearing stacks or something, but we just see the rest of the team sort of splitting and farming lanes while 2 people go in.
Oh, misses the skewer. RP is up. Is this a lane of Rax here?
Yeah, this is going to be a lane of Rax. The Storm's coming up, but they have very little support here, with Abaddon and Shadow Shaman both down. The Ogre is going to be able to put out 1 person, but not like the other 2 can.
I don't know. I mean, if they get early pickup here, I don't think he wants to use the RP here, but there we go. He's going to get it on both of the Spirit Brothers. So much damage. The Gyro actually uses the BKB at the last little twick on his HP bar. It's really odd that he didn't save it for the second life, honestly. But he's going to go down. He's coming right back into the fight. And he's got to pump out some damage here. The gem is on the deck here. 3 are down for Finest. They're going to lose 1 more. And the Gyro, second life, no BKB because he used it the first time around. So that's a full team wipe. Ugh.
Wow. Storm expended a buyback, but that was
100% worth. 100% worth.
Game changer.
1 buyback, you get a team wipe, you defend the Rax, and you get a gem. Yeah, I would say worth. That is going to hurt him, though. I mean, he's not going to be able to get a BKB, but, I mean, you single-handedly, that fight turned the entire game around, so.
Oh, yeah. And without his damage, that would have looked very, very different. The Storm Spirit outputs a lot of damage, even without a significant number of items, just from the overload damage that he gets every time he casts a spell.
Yeah. Ogre is very good about making sure Bloodlust was on everybody, too. Kind of a
disconnect here. Well, I don't know that Zeus is going to be enough to defend both towers, let alone 1 tower. So we'll still see Ghostz at least pick up some map presence, and we'll see where the Zeus decides to go defend. But
that's something you really don't think about, since we don't see Zeus all that often, is how powerful his buyback can be. Because it's literally like a fresh hero. You know? I mean, he gets Zeus, a full reset, you know? So, I mean, it was very unfortunate, but I mean, he made his gold back and then some. I mean, that was a fantastic RP, but, I mean, on the back end, that's still, I really question that BKB usage. He had about 300 HP, the Gyro did, and he panic popped the BKB. Must have forgot that he had the Aegis or something, because it's just typically not something you see, especially from players at this level.
Yeah, without a doubt, having that BKB on spawn, he might have been able to pick up a kill or 2, especially on some of the supports that were in the area.
I'm definitely not saying that he was going to turn the fight and, kill the whole enemy team.
No, but he could have gotten something out of it.
Yeah, instead of just kind of dancing around for a few seconds. But hindsight's 20/20, right?
Hard to know. When you're in the moment, it's a lot harder to make those split-second decisions.
In the heat of the moment. Come on, Brian.
I don't know that song, dude.
Oh, what are you, like 12? All right.
Yes, so my pop culture knowledge is incredibly limited.
Well, when you're under a rock all your life.
Yeah, it's true, man.
All right, so there are no BKBs in sight for any of the cores on Ghostz, so the magic damage is still going to scale fairly well for quite a bit longer, especially that buyback on the Storm. He made his gold back, but 1400, man, you're still quite a ways away from the magic immunity, so.
Oh, Vlad's coming up on the Abaddon.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, he's just going full utility at this point. Is anything okay? No, nothing is okay.
I don't know if the Vlad's is the item I would go for. You look at the characters, and you don't see a lot of traditional right-click. The Storm Spirit is not necessarily going to be in range of the Vlads from the Abaddon. and the Ember Spirit is going to be relying on more sleight of fist damage as opposed to right-click damage. So he may or may not be getting the life steal and the damage boost from the Vlads at all times. I'm actually wondering if an Augs might be better for the Abaddon than the Vlads, just to get the team-wide damage reduction. Because, you know, if they get RP'd, he can pretty easily run over there and pop the ult just to sort of get them out of that RP situation. But we'll see how the Vlads plays out. It's definitely very effective with the bonus armor. That'll make them tankier against flat cannon. And it'll give them some lifesteal to sort of sustain fights a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the item. I understand the pickup. It's something cost effective and quick that you can throw together and quickly bolster your team fight. But I mean, it's not anything game changing. And I mean, he's dying. He's not really getting a whole lot of gold. I mean, he's middle of the pack, which is probably as good as you can expect for how the beginning of this game went for him. So a lot of posturing. They popped the pipe and we have another disconnect this time on the other team. Alright.
Well, it looks like we're going to see a disengage here. Both teams are kind of running away from each other, so a bit of time to split up and farm, and that will benefit Finest a little bit. They've got the lanes pushed slightly in their favor.
Ooh,
but
Magnus going right for a refresher. He's pretty close to it actually too.
Yeah, and he's got the Force Staff and the Mana Boots, so
Yeah.
he'll be rocking a big enough mana pool to pull off the Augs and the Refresher. So that could be game changing, especially against two characters that rely on mobility for sustain.
Yeah, I mean, check out the net worth and XP graph. These last couple fights, damn.
Yeah, it's been all over the place. These teams are, like we said earlier, very evenly matched, and it's going to come down to execution as opposed to the lane phase. And that kind of surprises me because I was really expecting Finest to run away with this game. But Ghostz has shown some amazing team play, amazing team fight potential in the mid game, and they've really been keeping it neck and neck in terms of what both teams have to offer in this mid game to even late game scenario here. So we could see this game go on for quite some time.
Well, you didn't have plans tonight, did you, Brian?
This is my plan for
It's
for tonight.
Thursday night.
Yeah, that's basically how it is. I clear out Thursday night for casting, and if we end up with multiple series, I just leave the rest of the night wide open. You know, I do a lot of stuff on the other nights, but Thursday I reserve for casting stuff.
Aww, hanging out with old Johnny boy. Look at that. What a guy.
I go dancing on Wednesday. I go and play board games with my real life friends on Friday, but Thursday's Dota night. Damn it!
Dota night. You only have one day for Dota? That doesn't sound right.
Sorry, Thursday's casting Dota night.
Yeah, okay, there we go. That's much more acceptable. Okay, so Zeus needs to somehow not only survive the beginning of this next engagement, but he also needs to withhold from using his ultimate because he is so close to level 3 ult. So close. So close.
Disengage here, and he'll have time to pick up 16 before he uses it again.
Yeah. It'll be much worth it.
Ghostz doesn't want to go in.
Well,
and
no,
RP's
I mean,
still down.
They popped the pipe, so I mean Zeus can literally just wait for a few more seconds, and then they can go at it. Yeah, that's the one thing that really sucks about the pipe is, especially with a team that has so many different sources of magical damage. You can see it popped, so you just sit there and wait as long as you can, and then okay, it's gone. Now I'm gonna screw you. You know. It's hard
Especially
to.
with a character like Magnus with the hard engage.
Yeah, it's like if you don't get it off, I mean you could just die. And it'd just be an item slot. Like yeah, you personally get all the benefits of it, but the rest of the team's counting on that. You know,
right.
Especially the Storm. I mean, at least you know, Ember has some form of damage mitigation, and you know Abby's obviously inherently tanky, but Storm, Bloodstone's nice, but he's still pretty susceptible to nukes.
He's hurting.
Yeah.
He's picking up some money.
He's below their offlaner, so.
Oof.
Yeah. BKB's still a long ways away.
That lane phase, not even a fast level 6. He was actually really slow on getting his ultimate. He's picked up a lot of money and a lot of items since then. So he's been doing very well. But the Storm Spirit has just not had a good time out of team fights. In team fights, he's been very effective, zipping around, doing a lot of damage, and generally playing well when the teams are battling. But he had a rough lane phase, and he hasn't really had any stacks. He hasn't really had any space to farm big waves.
Yeah.
So not a lot of CS on that Storm
There's really
Spirit.
there's no real recourse set up for him even after the subpar laning phase. Not really sure what's going on. He might have had a
teams trying to figure out what's going on.
Nobody
Definitely
knows
one of the
rules.
reasons why you should.
See, that you should
Oh my
never
God.
ask the
Now
casters.
we're the administrators. Ask the casters.
Yeah.
We don't have any actual power. We're just sort of spectators. So
Whoa, 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 whoa! I can make a non-biased call.
we don't have any actual authority.
No.
Yeah, three more sounds like a good compromise. So we'll see if the Ember Spirit can get back in. If he can, the game will continue. Obviously, if he's not able to, we'll have to talk about waiting out of the lobby in terms of the next game. One reason that he's coming back, so we have no problems here. But one reason why you would definitely want to share, other contact information with team members, like with the friends that I typically play with, we all have each other's phone numbers. So if one person's net goes down, they can text us or something and send out some kind of communication that way, so we know what's going on.
Nerd. Actually, I only played one game today, and that's exactly what happened too. Someone disconnected, and everyone's asked like, "Do you know this guy?" Because he had a private profile, so nobody really knew, like, if he was coming back. And I'm like, he rage quit. We destroyed him in lane. He rage quit, and they're like, "No, he didn't. He's coming back," and he never came back. So. Yeah, being able to figure out what the hell's going on. Communication's a very, very underrated thing in personal life, professional life, and Dota life, my friends. Don't underestimate it.
For me.
Yeah, it definitely. It's not really that difficult. Not hard at all. But some people make it difficult. And actually, holy crap. All of a sudden, an ancient stack appears. Okay, so...
Farming that up. Maybe stacking that up for a little bit.
Yeah, that's a nice stack going to the gyro. So, really hoping for a damage item here. Finest can really capitalize. I mean, they were able to survive the team wipe. I mean, it was a pretty big swing, but they're ready to go again.
So here's the question. In terms of Gyro's next item, picking up an MKB is very traditional on Gyrocopter and works very well with his attack range. And for pushing high ground towers, it's very effective. But looking at Ghostz's team, nobody really wants to build a dodge item. Ember Spirit doesn't want to build a butterfly, Storm Spirit doesn't want to build a butterfly or a halberd. So do you go after the MKB for raw damage and for pushing towers, or do you go for the Chrysalis for crit and raw damage?
Crit stick, for sure, hands down. This actually, I don't think they see the storm actually, so the smoke, okay, so they're just going to go for the safety kill, and I don't see a remnant around either.
No, he has Boots Traveler actually on cooldown, so it's going to be very difficult for him to get out.
Alright, so there's the Glimmer Cape going in. They're just going to use the RP if they can take him out. But unfortunately,
he had a remnant. It was way far away, not in a traditional spot. So
look at that, he's shaking, he's terrified. Well, RP down. That reaction time though, man. That is crazy.
That's Refresher, so if they have to fight, he can. But 80 seconds is not a very punitive cooldown. They can definitely push up, wait a minute and a half before they go for high ground, because I don't see this tier 2 tower being defended very stringently from Ghostz.
There's no reason to defend it. They gain nothing and they lose very little. So, not a huge ordeal. And meanwhile, he's getting vengeance up here. Alright, so there's the Mantis. So he can finally break out of the silence. That's something that's just been crippling him. Little pun, sorry. Night Stalker humor. It's really like ever since the early levels with that very first gank after he left bottom lane. It's been.
Does that count as dark humor?
Your judgment call, dealer's choice. So, utility Abby, I agree. I would have liked to see a bigger item because this game, I mean, neither team is fantastic at high ground. Ghosts are actually terrible at high ground.
Yeah, they have like 2 high ground effects, and well, I guess 3 with wards. They can throw wards up high ground. Abaddon can charge up high ground fairly safely, and then if they siege a tower, Sleight of Fist is very effective, but they don't have a lot of high ground push because Storm Spirit's range is very short, and that's the only attack damage they have.
We got a nice little wraparound here. And they're going to try their best. I mean, they're just ignoring the Abaddon. He's popping everything he has, and Blade Mail completely wasted because no one's even paying attention to him. Storm zips in here, and he might just save the RP.
Wow.
Yeah, he gets hexed anyway. Great rotations. Very quick teamwork right there to take him out.
Well, meanwhile,
I didn't have
Ember's
Dazzle Glimmer Cape, good item. And it's still 2-on-1 here.
good zip.
He's kind of hesitant. There's 3 heroes here, and they have plenty of damage to take him out, but they have really no means of catching him, especially with the drums. Oh my gosh. And Bloodlust, look how fast he is. Gyro pops the BKB. They're ready to fight. Zeus with absolutely no mana, unfortunately, for this fight, so Gyro's going to have to do all the legwork here. Wards are dropped. Ogre goes down. And they're going to take out the Shadow Shaman, too. I don't think they see the Storm. But they do see No Chill here. He breaks the silence perfectly. Wow! So much damage coming out. Yeah, BKB's on cooldown, but Ember's got to get back in there. Storm Spirit's just oh no, he doesn't have enough mana to make it over the ledge. Suicides.
Oh, got the suicide at least.
Yeah, it's No Chill versus the world at this point. He can't break the silence this time around. About another second left on
Fast. Wow.
Yeah, he is fast as shit, but yeah, that
That's
nuke
not
damage
enough.
though, man. That nuke damage. And now double RP is back online for the Magnus, so it's go time. 4 heroes down. Night Stalker did buy back, but that is really
Minimal.
nothing of note. He has everything he wants. He has the Scepter, and it looks like he's going after in core too.
The concern here for Ghosts is how squishy the supports are. Ogre has a lot of natural tankiness, but he hasn't been able to find a lot of items that give him tankiness besides the mech. And Shadow Shaman just has nothing at all. So he's just hurt. So they lose a lot of utility when those supports go down, and the supports go down very fast due to the massive AoE that's coming out of Finest. So they lose 2 characters very early in the fight. That puts a lot of pressure on the Storm Spirit and on the Ember Spirit to make huge plays. And they've been keeping up fairly well, but in that last team fight, it just quite wasn't enough.
A little bit longer on the Roche timer, and I think we have... Okay, so he does take your advice. Butterfly it is. Honestly, it's a nice intermediary item in between, you know, it gives him
He's very tanky right now. It's going to be very difficult to kill him, but again,
killing him wasn't really the issue. Killing him wasn't really the issue, though.
He's missing damage, and I'm very concerned about that, because the next item, if he dies a couple times, if they lose a team fight or 2, that next item is a long way away, and that butterfly purchase could definitely come back to bite him.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, like I'm not arguing or saying it's a bad item pickup whatsoever, but I think the crit stick would have gone a lot further for him. I mean, he didn't really need the evasion. He's died 4 times the whole game, and these last few fights, as long as he gets his BKB off at an appropriate time, he's completely fine.
Well, we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly certain he's like the 3rd tankiest hero in the game right now, so.
Probably the tankiest, apart from Abaddon, who has, literally a second
Ember's got
life.
2k. Magnus, Night Stalker extra is 2100, so yeah, he's right up there. He's in the top 3. So I mean, yeah, dying. It's just there's a couple really poor BKB usages that I only thing I can really point out at this point. So, but
we've actually had really quality play out of both teams, so I'm really glad that we've seen such a high quality first game. Sometimes the first game will go very sloppily one way or the other as a team sort of warms up for the set. But this has been, really quality Dota. We've seen both teams in it. Both teams are definitely in the running for this game 40 minutes into the game, so no end in sight. A really close game, really great matchup.
Well, I think the Aegis might change things here. So they're gonna take it again, and hopefully they give it to the gyro. He's gonna have to drop probably the drums. I don't know if he
Drop the
wants-
drums and yeah. Oh, okay. The Orchid comes up on the Storm. That's actually a really big item pickup.
I am very
He's 40
surprised that he
minutes
did that.
in. Yeah, he's 40 minutes in. He picked up his second item. That's not a spot you want to be at Storm. But
I was
picking
hoping
up that Orchid is a huge difference.
I was hoping that the Ember and the Storm would stay for buyback. They both had over 3k. I was hoping that they were going to manage the buybacks a little bit, especially now with the Aegis being taken. I think he might regret that Orchid pickup.
You know the
Great item on the hero, but I mean right now, not doing him a whole lot of good.
I was just about to, oh, nice cleanse there from the Abaddon.
Yeah.
I was actually hoping that he would pick up a BKB for that exact reason, but looks like he's made it out.
Ooh,
So
Blink Skewer not
the
going to
skewer.
connect here. Gyro
They
not
don't-
really
oh,
sure.
what
Oh,
a
no
trap.
BKB.
what a trap!
He doesn't want to
And
use it.
that's
Please don't
actually
use the
a full
BKB. Just you have Aegis.
Just
You're
takes him
fine.
out.
There we go. And a lot more fighting going on this side, and now Night Stalker really has no chance. Great grave, actually. Gyro's back up. BKB is popped. Sees the Glimmer Cape. Huge RP. Refresher,
Oh!
baby. Gets another one down. They're so low, though. Oh my gosh, the Ember Spirit's able to finish off the Abaddon. Night Stalker goes down. Gyro so low, and he's going to go down. That's a triple kill. Wow.
Wow, Storm barely makes it out.
And
Under
Greaves
100
at the back
hits on that
end.
Storm.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wow, that was a team
That's
fight.
insane. That was a team fight. Little bit of
I think we were
separation here. The nice early ward trap, though, is really what kind of set the pace for that
Oh,
fight.
man, that ward trap changed the
That's
fight.
Beautiful. Essentially making
talking
the
about
first
how-
life just completely squandered.
We're kind of talking about how the Ember Spirit and the Storm Spirit have so much of the onus placed on their shoulders in terms of these fights. And that time we definitely saw them make the plays that were necessary. So this is going to be like, yeah, these teams are so evenly matched right now. It's going to be down to the wire. I'm super excited to see how this game goes because two team fights in either team's favor could end the game.
I mean, we're sitting in like a 2k lead in terms of golden net worth, but it's really, that's nothing at this point.
2K is nothing. Across a team, that's a few TPs one way or the other.
Buybacks at the ready here for the Gyro and the Magnus if they want to, but not necessary here. Like I said, I mean, the wards, I didn't even include it in the high ground discussion as far as their base breaking capability because I've never seen them use, I've seen them used offensively for one tower. They're used in fights almost exclusively. And yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, like we said, that ward trap was absolutely pivotal in that fight.
Oh, yeah.
Had that not happened, I don't think they win that fight, but you know, it's you win the team fight, but then, you know, you lose that for the base deconstruction, so.
I was kind of confused by the draft because they have such little right click. They have such little tower pushing outside of the wards there. So that was definitely one weakness I was considering on the team as we went into the game. Just the fact that they really have two core characters that are going to deal damage and essentially three supports. But they've been making it work very well for the team. So we'll see if they can continue to make it work. You know, one more team fight like that last one, and they're going to have racks because that mid tower very low. And top tower's at half, so they have two lanes that they can effectively push for racks.
The crit stick here, he's critting for 850 plus per hit, so it'll make things a lot harder for the supports here. I mean, I know the Night Stalker is very, very tanky, but I mean, Dazzle's Dazzle's a spell and a crit away from it just exploding. So
it's going to be rough all over the place with that Ember being as strong as he is.
Ooh, 977.
This is where the tower siege really starts to come out with Sleight of Fist spam. If you take a couple Sleight of Fists, you're going to have to go back to the well no matter who you are. So definitely going to be more difficult to play out these extended sieges, and that's where the Magnus is going to come in with the hard engage. So it'll be cool to see that difference.
Get the skewer off.
Oh, speaking of
and there's
Magnus,
the Veil actually picked up. I didn't even see that. They need vision though. They popped the ult for vision, but I guess they're just going to base dive. And Greaves are popped. Might not have been worth it, but now they're just going to turn this into base sieging. The creeps are on their way though.
Ember's trading.
And actually pretty damn well too. I mean, the glyph is popped, so I mean, I think they're gonna go racks for racks here, but I think yeah, someone's got a TP back. Yeah, it's gonna be a racks for racks trade. If they can take at least two out, if Ghostz can take at least two out here, Gyro's not using BKB. Ember's trying to get in position, gonna try to get a combo off, unable to get the chains. And there's the RP, only getting it on one though. Only getting it on the Ogre. Call down BKB used on the Gyro.
Refresher's up, so we could see another one.
Yeah, if he wants to. He
Looks
might
like
die
not.
before. Ogre finished off by a homing missile here. And here we go.
Gyro's
There's the
going down
Vlad's
as well.
going to work right there, keeping the team sustained while they take down the Gyrocopter yet again.
Wow, so
And there's a lot of blood on
Ghostz
both
definitely
sides here, man.
showcasing some skill. Yeah.
A lot of blood on both sides. We've got a poor little Dazzle here. They know he's in here too. Uh-oh.
Roche is still down. This might end up being 2 racks
Sorry, buddy.
for Ghostz. They traded racks on that, on that push, but they might end up picking up mid racks here, depending on how the buybacks are used. And they are available for America's Finest, so we'll see how this ends up panning out.
I think Gyro goes. I think he's saving for Divine. I know that it looks like a save for buyback, but we're talking about how far away that next
Definitely
item
be a
was.
Divine.
Dyer's top towers getting beat.
If
He has very little damage right now, so that DR could really turn things.
I think that might be the play. Not quite yet, but I mean we've seen the last 3 times the base siege has just failed, so
Dyer's got one last
I would not be
tower.
surprised to see a little more all-in kind of
Aggressive
play.
wards.
Dyer won.
And there's the buyback.
Zeus has a refresher, so we can pop another one, but now he's silenced. The Orchid finally getting used here. Tons of damage. He's already down to 3rd health. Gyro pops his ult, but it's only the Apodon there. He doesn't really give a shit. Trying to take out the wards, doing a great job there. Oh, no, he can't
good
CRP.
zip.
Can't CRP.
The Dyer's mid.
He's still gonna chase.
Oh,
Ghost is gonna
he hit
lose
RP.
too, but that's another set of
So,
racks
yeah.
here, my friend.
Oh, he got him.
Yep, he's gonna finish off the storm, but I mean, they get 4 heroes, but that's 2 lanes of racks right there.
That's almost all the racks. There's 1 melee
Oh my
racks.
gosh.
At very
Oh my
little hit points
gosh.
there.
The rat is
Ember
real.
Spirit popped his Manta right before he zipped out, and he sent the illusions back in to deal a bunch of damage to that rack.
Yikes.
So this is going to be the question, and all of the heroes have buyback for Ghosts. So if they can force the buybacks and then punish
Oh.
them, this game could swing right now.
I wish we had a stats person in this game. Okay, now No Chill cannot die. He cannot die. I think he just wants to end it right now. He wants Megas right now. I think a Blink Dagger would be better if he's going for this kind of play though.
Homing missile's on him, isn't it?
No, I don't
That
see
could be a hilarious cross map. Unfortunate stun timing.
And Dazzle's by his lonesome here. He's not going to be able to stop. But the backdoor protection, the creep's aren't in the base yet. Buyback for not, unfortunately.
Well, he stops the push, so no base damage done. Storm Spirit retains his buyback, so there's something out of
Did you see
it.
what he picked up here? Hello. Fresh
Oh,
10
he's finally
second,
got it.
10-second BKB at 50 minutes, so it was
Ooh, that's
strategic.
gonna be
He
big.
intentionally avoided getting it just so he'd have a full duration BKB for the final fights. That was the plan, Brian.
The whole way, getting behind for the early game and the mid game.
Oh yeah, he
all for this
messaged me.
moment.
He messaged me about it, so.
Well, however it ended up, that BKB is going to be huge for the Storm Spirit
that's-
through the rest of this game.
Game changing for sure. All right, so Satanic
Spirit
finish.
has gone AC.
Gyro went for the Satanic, which is fantastic, but I don't know.
No,
I feel at this
I'm
point
gonna,
it's
I'm gonna
DR.
put my foot down at this point. We've been talking about him needing damage for the last 20 minutes.
Rapier a bust.
I think the Satanic was a mistake.
Rapier a bust.
I don't know if it had to be a Rapier. I would have liked to see a Rapier.
Right now, though.
Just given how much damage he had.
Right now.
Right now, it
yeah,
has to be a
there's
Rapier.
1 RP. He's got the refresher, but he's so close to dying. He's saving it. And actually, wow, they end up picking up the storm too. And they're able to hold on to their second RP.
Playing
So.
for the racks. Everything is for the racks.
Yeah, oh, that was a complete distraction. And there's the second RP.
Hit.
Oh my gosh.
50, oh, the wards are down. 59 hit points. They got it. That's
it.
Megas.
There we go.
The game, they threw 4 kills for that, but they have a lot of buybacks, and Megas make a difference.
It's called objective gaming, sir.
Yes.
And but yeah, but
I'm
now
not gonna
unfortunately,
dispute that decision.
well, Storm, does he have buyback?
They've got the bush. Storm has buyback.
Storm has buyback. Yeah, they're good to go. They'll be fine.
Well,
You want to have BKB though, really?
Abaddon doesn't.
Huh?
And that's a big deal. Abaddon does not have buyback. Storm
Yeah,
will have buyback.
that's an
Won't have
issue.
BKB, but he's been fine without it throughout the game.
Look at those
They
items.
do
Look at
have
those items.
Fortify,
He's literally
so they'll
full
be able to
utility.
stall.
Abby went literally full utility. All right, no, he cannot get picked out here. He cannot
No,
get
he's
picked
going to be
out.
playing with a remnant in the base for the rest of the game.
They can afford to lose a little bit here, but
Breaking down radiant
gonna pop the glyph a little.
They're going to stall as long as possible.
Yeah, they're doing fine.
You
with
can see the
stalling.
Zeus isn't even there. That's a lot of damage. I know it's late game. I know magic.
Oh my gosh, what a grave
Oh.
though. Last second save. He has no RP online. He tries to get a skewer, just ends up bailing out. Dazzle goes down. Storm comes in. He's ready to rock. BKB actually on no chill picked up. Fresh 10-second on him. Oh, so much damage, but oh my gosh.
Oh,
Great
man.
remnant, but he's dead. He's not coming back either. No buyback. It's all on the shoulders of Storm and Abby here. He pops the BKB for nothing, and they just run out here. Magnus able to
I
make it
think
out.
they've got it.
Wow, they finish off the gyro. So
Wow, that was a defense.
they just called
They,
GG. Yeah, that really wasn't
Yeah,
much.
that's game. I think that, yeah, wow. We saw a great 50-minute game that went literally down to the last team fight. If that team fight had gone slightly differently, we would be calling out a different winner here. But Ghostz somehow managed to finagle just enough damage out of that lineup to claim the game.
Yeah. Wow, that was. There's a lot of pressure with those late game team fights and just managing, you know, everybody managing your spells, your BKB usages, your buybacks. There's just so much that goes into account, and it's something you don't really get to practice too often. There's a lot of games that end in a 30 and 40 minute time frame, so once you get to like 50, 55, an hour plus, like that's when every team fight just becomes exponentially larger, and you really see what the teams that have more cohesion, and you can definitely tell just by how they play. I mean, yeah, the laning stage didn't go so great. Mid game, but when it came down to it, though, really fantastic play and just items popping seemingly out of nowhere, and AC and a BKB coming and a buyback out of no chill in the last like 15 minutes. You know, like where does that gold come from?
Dude, I tell you what, I'm super excited for the next game. Both watching the draft, seeing how that game colors the draft, and then seeing the next game. Like, we have not seen very many first games that have gone late game. So seeing two teams that through that game were so evenly matched and watching them play all the way through the end game, I'm really interested to see how the draft goes for the next game, if they're thinking about late game or if they're really focusing on lane phase, and then just how the game plays out, because the way these teams paired up was so fun to watch.
Yeah, well, we won't have to wait too long, fortunately. So we'll take a couple minute break and we'll be right back with game 2 here.